Look, the truth is, almost nobody outside family wealth advisors actually gets it. They see what you're drowning in, the chaos of managing fortunes that aren't just numbers, but lives, legacies, futures tangled in so many invisible threads. You're juggling investments, taxes, family drama, pesky regulations, intergenerational conflicts, all while trying to keep the whole thing not only afloat but growing. And frankly, most people watching your back are clueless or just in it for a paycheck. That's why you feel burned, exhausted, and pissed off, because the system and the experts around you don't understand what's really at stake. It's not just money. It's control, it's trust, it's the ability to keep that wealth alive for whoever comes next, without turning it into a slow death trap for your family. Now, what those top family wealth advisors know is this. It's not about chasing the next flashy deal or just avoiding taxes. It's about owning the entire story, how every piece fits, what really drives the family dynamic, and how to get ahead of problems that everyone else pretends don't exist until it's too late. They don't just manage assets, they navigate storms no spreadsheet can predict. They sit in the room when feelings run hot or when power chips are being played behind closed doors. They get that your wealth is fragile because people are fragile, and they have zero tolerance for surface-level fixes. Here's what to do. Listen carefully, because this is where most stumble. First, stop thinking about money like it's just a thing to protect. It's power, culture, identity. To handle it right, you have to master the family psychology. That means building real, raw conversations, even if it hurts. Organize family meetings. Not to polish PR, but to expose tensions and silence. No sugarcoating. Because what's left unspoken can destroy everything faster than any market crash. Get a trusted mediator who understands family dynamics as a whole package, not just someone selling performance reports. Second, start designing your governance like a startup founders design a company. Clear roles, transparent decision paths, accountability not tied to age or what's tradition, but actual value and contribution. If someone sits at the table only because of who their parents are, challenge that. The family office that survives is the one that evolves, or it dies in slow motion. Don't let nostalgia kill the future. Third, don't just diversify portfolios, diversify perspectives. Bring in outsiders who challenge your worldview. True advisors know the game of old money is over, but few families admit it. Markets change, values change, rules change. You need advisors who push you to question your assumptions daily, who demand data and gut checks, who force scenarios most avoid until it's an emergency. Lastly, understand this. Controlling wealth blindly is the fastest way to lose it. Smart family offices embrace flexibility and brutal honesty. They don't cling to outdated hierarchies or outdated ways of thinking. They build structures that allow for real innovation inside the family, for new ventures, real risk-taking, and sometimes uncomfortable growth. Because if your wealth is not evolving, it's rotting. So, stop settling for advisors who just manage money. Demand strategy, demand honesty, demand revolution inside your family office. Build not a fortress, but an engine that constantly adapts, that fuels the future instead of locking you in the past. And don't wait for crises to force change. Own it now. This is how wealth stays alive through generations, not by accident, but by relentless work on the hardest, most personal challenges. If you want your family's legacy to mean more than just a bank balance, you better start pushing every uncomfortable conversation, every structural change, every advisor to be sharper than yesterday. Because this isn't just about money, it's about survival, it's about freedom, it's about building something no outsider can take away. And if you're not ready to face what that really takes, you'll lose it all. Simple as that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and check the featured link to learn more.